All right, so for number 2, so I'm just going to go over how I would do. I'm just going to do a couple of these because I want you to think about some. 5 out of 25. Okay, 5 out of 25 is what they want me to do. I want that to be a percent. Tony's giving me the answer. So percent is out of 100, right? What would you multiply by 25 to get 100? So we should do the same thing to the top. So it should be 20%. Okay. How did you work that out?
How many times does 5 go into 25? 5 times.
5 goes into 25 5 times, and 100 divided by. Oh yeah. Okay, so you did this like flipped, but yeah, cool. So, yeah. That's great. Yep. Yeah. So Tony said 5 goes into 25 5 times, and then he said, then how many times does 5 go into 100? That would be 20 times, which is the percent that we want. Yeah, that's an excellent way to look at it. 20 out of 80. So again, I encourage you to actually write 20 out of 80. We can reduce that, right? That could be 2/8 or 1/4, which would be 25%. Yeah. All right, 3 out of 298. Well, 298 is not one of my favorite numbers, but I really like 300. This is about the same as 3 out of 300. And 3 goes into 300 100 times. So we could call this 1%.
That's what.
Yeah.
But then I'm getting
and so then I'm just going to write about 1%. Or you could say it is, let's see, since the denominator is smaller, 1% is 1% is smaller, so it should go that way. 3 out of 298 is bigger than 1% by just a little tiny bit, because the denominator is smaller. All right, I'm going to leave the 1 out of 1,000 for you to think about without a calculator. We are shopping for a coat. We find one that's on sale. The coat's regular price is $87.99. What is your estimate of the sale price based on the following discounts? So first thing I'm going to say is, well, you know, that's pretty darn close to $90. With this 25% off, 25% is about a quarter. So I want to know, what is a quarter of 90? Okay, now some days I'm good at division like that. I'm really good at cutting things in half. So a quarter is really a half of a half. So half of 90, 45. And then we have to take half of that, which is 22.50. Yeah, so half of 40 is 20. Half of 5 is 250. So that would be 22.50. So let's see. Did I answer the question? The answer is no. This question is, what is your estimate of the sale price? I just found the discount. This is 22.50 off. So now I got to say, all right, what's 90 minus 22.50? So let's see, 90 minus 20 would be 70. Then we take off 2.5, $2.50. Let's see, that's going to take us into the 60s. So 68 would be $2 off. Take another 50 cents off. So I'm thinking 68 minus 50 cents is going to be 67.50. Oops, 67.50. And again, I'm trying not to use a calculator here. I'm trying not to use a calculator. Now, before we look at the 70%, I just want to give you another way to think about this for a second. So let's ignore that. We'll do that in a moment. If you're getting 25% off, what percent do you pay? Yeah, it's sometimes helpful to think out of 75%, or out of 100%, sorry. 100 minus 25 gives me what I pay. So I'm going to pay 75%. So an alternate way to do this problem is to think, okay, what's 75% of 90? So then I can go 75% is, what did we have for a fraction for that before?
3/4.
3/4. So I could think, all right, what's 3/4 of 90? And maybe you're one of those people that's really good at division in your head. You can divide 4 into 90 and then multiply it by 3. Or we could multiply by 3 and then divide by 4. I'm going to do that one. So let's see, 3 times 9 is 27. So that's 270 divided by 4. And 4 goes into 270. Let's see, 4 goes into 27. Oh, not quite 7 times, so I got to use 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract. I get 30 left over. 4 goes into 30. 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. 30 minus 28 is 2. So I get 2/4 left over, which 2/4 is a half, and 1/2 is 50 cents. So it looks like I'm getting from this other method, this other method here, that 67.50 should be the answer. So what I'd like you to try for the 70% off is thinking about it out of 100%. What do we pay if it's 70% off? What percent do we pay if it's 70% off? 30%. Yeah, so for part B here, I just want to know what is 30% of 90. So try to do that without a calculator. You try something, then I'll try something.
I got it. Real easy way to do it.
Me too. But I want to hear yours first. But wait just a second. Hold that thought. I count on my fingers too. It's okay to count on your fingers. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Well, now I feel dumb for doing it.
Sorry, I messed you up. No, because I've had people, they see me count on my fingers in class and they're like, oh, thanks for doing that. Because I was made to feel like an idiot for counting on
Well, now
fingers
you
in
just
this
made
other
me feel
place.
like an idiot.
You're
You're calling
not.
me out for counting with my fingers.
You
No,
are
I hate
awesome.
that.
I count on my fingers.
Shut up, living for somebody. Patient for hours. I found it. Oh, thank you. There we go.
You're okay.
Pursue your style.
All right.
Proud, please.
So Tony had an idea about this. What is it?
Like you. Just, so what's 10% of 90?
10% of 90 would be 9.
Times it by 7.
Times it by,
7 is 64.
yeah,
That's your 70%.
okay,
So 64
Off of 90.
So you got 26 left over.
26 left
That's what
over.
you're paying.
Okay. That's a good way to estimate it.
You may not like-
So I was thinking 3 times 9 is 27. Are you okay? Did you pick up or something?
Yeah. it's a little-
Okay. Is 27 the right answer? All right, I need to write something down for this. So 30% is really 30 out of 100, which I could say reduce that down to 3/10. And I want to know what is 3/10 of 90. 10 goes into 90. You guys are usually so talkative and I can't get 10 goes into 90. How many times? 9 times, and 9 times 3 is
3.
27 on a good
Oh,
day.
shit, I thought you-
Okay. Is it a full moon or something?
It's 'cause you're gonna
Okay,
use my-
so math can be a playground. There's lots of fun ways to play with numbers. There's many different ways to do it. Okay, so this is essentially, we're trying to play with numbers here. All right, important parts of this right here, and this is super important. Whenever you have a percent off, a sale kind of situation, it is better to think out of 100%. Think. So for example, we had 70% off. 100% minus 70% is 30%. Oops. And that's what we pay. So that is going to be the sale price, whatever 30% is. And that makes the calculation much easier most of the time. All right, what's next? Okay, so here we're going to talk about numbers with percentages. So we've got, let's see, estimations can help you make calculations quickly in daily situations. The next problem shows how estimates of percentages can be used to make comparisons among groups of different sizes. So we've got law enforcement officer reviews the following data from 2 precincts. She makes a quick estimate to answer the following question. If a violent incident occurs, in which precinct is it more likely to involve a weapon? Make an estimate of this answer, explain your strategy. So again, table we have here, we have 2 different precincts. We have number of violent episodes. We have whether a weapon was involved in those or not. So in precinct number 1, 25 incidents, 5 of those 25 involved a weapon. In precinct 2, 122 violent incidents, 18 of which out of 122 involved a weapon. And we want to make a quick estimate on in which precinct is it more likely in which precinct is the violent incident more likely to involve a weapon. So to answer that question, we need to think weapons divided by incidents for each of these precincts. Okay, so in the first one, 5 out of 25, we have an estimate of 20%. In the second one, 18 out of 122, that's kind of like 20 out of 120. How many 20s are in 120? Like 6, yeah. So we've got, so let's compare these two. New page. We've got 5 out of 25. No, it was a 5 out of 25, yeah. And the other one was 18 out of 122. And I said that's about 20 out of 120. 5 out of 25 is a fifth. 2 goes into 12 6 times, so that is a 6th. Okay. Which number is bigger, a fifth or a 6th? Which pie would you rather have? You want some pie? Is a 5th bigger than a 6th? Answer is yeah. Less pieces, they're bigger. So this one is the bigger one. This is the smaller one. This is precinct number 1. This is precinct number 2. Precinct number 1 has a bigger chance of a weapon being involved by a little bit. Yeah, there's more incidents going on, but percentage-wise, fraction-wise, there's a higher probability it's going to happen in precinct 1. Even though these incidents happen more often than precinct 2. Higher population, maybe. You know, it could be like Pendleton versus Portland, right? This could be Pendleton here. This could be Portland. More people, more stuff going on. Okay, moving along, focus. All right, so here we've got a cash back bonus. This means every time you use your credit card to make a purchase, thank you, you can earn 1% of the money you spent. Your card gives 0.5%, 0.5% for what you do. Estimate the award you're going to get on 462. So what's 1% of 462 about? 1% of 400 would be? What's 1% of 400? 4. Yeah, we get 0.5%. Like 2. Yeah, there's a good estimate. Write that down. Don't write just down 2. Write down how you got to it. How we got to it. So this class is about how to write stuff down.
That should be this class.
I'll change the name instead of quantitative literacy, how to write stuff down.
And get better memory.
All right, so let's see. So we want 0.5% of 462. So I'm thinking I'm gonna start with 1% of 400, which is 4. Right, and then I can modify that. So 0.5% of 400. So I'm just explaining my thought process here. If 1% of 400 is 4, half of that should be 2. Bless you. Now, was our amount really exactly 400? So shouldn't we get a little bit more than 2? So I want you to then amend this estimate by guessing how much more than $2 we're going to get back.
Is that? Oh, yeah.